Hey there, and welcome back to Life on 30A. I'm AJ BEDDOUK, your trusted 30A real estate agent right here on the Emerald Coast. So today I'm going to be introducing you to a kind of lesser known area here along 30A that might not be on your radar yet and is a little bit underrated, but you should definitely know about it if you're considering buying or investing in real estate here on the Emerald Coast. I'm talking about Blue Mountain Beach. Blue Mountain Beach is one of our most beautiful and chill locations here on 30A. And today I'm going to go over what the real estate is like, the best places to eat, how to get around, and basically everything that you need to know about Blue Mountain Beach. So let's get into it. So let's start with the name and some kind of fun history. Blue Mountain Beach is actually named after the blue lupine wildflowers that used to grow everywhere along the dunes here. So fishermen and other folks on ships used to come by and they would see these like blue, almost mountains. I mean, obviously we're not like mountains, we're in Florida, but for Florida, they're mountains and they were blue. And so that's how it became Blue Mountain Beach. Now, these flowers aren't so rampant over here anymore, but it's just kind of a cool little thing. That's why it's Blue Mountain Beach. Also, as you guessed, it's the highest elevation here on the Emerald Coast, along the beach. We've got higher elevations, but as far as being right on the coast, our area here in Blue Mountain Beach is the absolute highest elevation. So it might not be real mountains, but you know, for 38, we're basically in the Alps. Why do I bring up the fact that it has the highest elevation in the area? If you know anything about Florida or you live elsewhere and you're considering purchasing real estate here in Florida, one of the most common things that we hear about or have questions on are hurricanes. Yes, they are absolutely a thing. So if you're thinking about buying in Florida, you're probably thinking, okay, hurricanes, what's that going to be like? Well, here on Blue Mountain Beach, we don't have to worry so much about flooding because of that higher elevation. So not only are you getting this more chill and laid back vibe, you're also getting a bit of safety here in this area. We're at 64 feet above sea level. That's pretty significant. And even just driving through the various areas of Blue Mountain Beach, you'll see these steep changes in elevations in some areas. Actually, I was just over there driving to show you guys some of the area, and I was going up this hill. I was like, oh my gosh, this is fun. But I wouldn't want to try to, take a bike down the downslope. So various changes, and it's a benefit to you. I'm going to have my admin folks show you a map right now. So if we can pull that up, I want to show you where we are in Blue Mountain Beach. So you've got Grayton Beach just to the east, and you've got Gulf Place and Dune Allen to the west. So it's right in the heart of 38, but it still feels like a secret. And I'm sorry, guys, if I sound like I have a lisp, I bit my tongue. So dumb. I bit my tongue and it really hurts, but the show must go on. I don't have a lisp and I'm not, of lower intellect. I just, I have an injury, a self-created, a self-induced injury. So let's talk about the culture of Blue Mountain Beach, or the vibe, to use a buzzword. So if you've been to, say, Rosemary Beach or Alice Beach, you've seen how manicured those areas are. Well, you come over into Blue Mountain Beach and it is completely different. Like, I feel like Rosemary Beach and Alice Beach, they're like trying to show off, and Blue Mountain Beach just exists. Blue Mountain Beach is like, here I am. And that's what it is. It's very local, old Florida feeling. It's very unassuming, even though you can get some pretty wild properties here on Blue Mountain Beach. Some of the things that you'll notice right away is all of the trees. You've got lots of beautiful, lush trees. Some of the roads need some work. It's very unassuming. You're going to see people walking around barefooted. There are so many beach accesses for being, a smaller area. It's not overly commercialized. It's very family friendly. And you'll see, like kids lined up outside the Blue Mountain Creamery whenever it's in season. It does close, so sometimes it's going to be closed. You're not going to see anybody over there, but for the most part, you're going to see kids out there eating ice cream, adults too. I've taken my daughter over there. It's fantastic. I will tell you, if you're like me and you limit sugar intake, this isn't the one. I asked them for a kid's scoop and I was like, this is a lot even for me. So you definitely get your money's worth. But if you're trying to limit sugar content, you're like me and you're still trying to get your summer body, that's not the spot. But if you're like, I'm going to treat myself. Go ahead and check it out. So with all that said, at night you're going to hear crickets, not music. In the morning you're going to be listening to birds singing. You're not going to hear a whole bunch of people. You're not going to hear a bunch of partying. You're going to see golf carts on the street. And in this area, we really attract a lot of retirees and people looking for a place to live full-time, or at least most of the time. We also see a lot of sort of artistic types, writers, musicians, things of that nature that really want to kind of be a little bit isolated or secluded, or at least feel like it and not be right next to all like the bustling of, city life, which I know 30A isn't a city, and it's definitely not, it's not anything anyone would look at and be like, oh, that's a big city or whatever. It's not. But Blue Mountain Beach within 30A is very specifically more nature surrounded. So what should you know if you're considering purchasing or investing here in Blue Mountain Beach? So the real estate here is all over the place. I mean, you can have some huge properties, huge, massive, right next to like a little older cottage. You can have brand new builds right next to older properties. There isn't a huge HOA presence here. So you're going to see a whole lot of different architecture and different style properties, different sizes of properties, different sizes of yards. Some properties are going to come with big yards. Some properties are going to come with smaller yards. You get the full array here. But we also have some townhomes and some condos. We've got the Village at Blue Mountain Beach, and we've also got Redfish Village, which are condo complexes with amenities. So you can have whatever you want. You can have the subdivision that has the amenities, or you can have the house that's in like an unrecorded subdivision with no HOA and still be super walkable to everything. What's awesome about this is that you still sense that whole residential vibe. There's nothing about Blue Mountain Beach that says, oh, this is vacation time. This is seaside. It's not like that at all. It's very much, this is people enjoying life. That's Blue Mountain Beach. So what are the prices like here in Blue Mountain Beach? Well, you've again kind of got them all over the place. Not necessarily on the low end, but if you start around the 900 point and go up, you can go up pretty significantly. So from 900,000 and up, basically. So you've got a lot of inventory between the 2 million and 3 million mark. That gives you a huge swath of properties available. And folks really love this area because, like I said, the lack of the HOA, which allows you to do whatever you want with the property within reason. You obviously have to conform to county guidelines and such, but this allows you to use the property as a short-term rental if you want to, invest in it and rent it out long-term, come down and use it for 6 months out of the year, rent it out the rest of the time, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. It really draws in a lot of investors for that reason. If you're an investor and you're considering purchasing in Blue Mountain Beach, it's good to know that anything with a Gulf view or with 3 or more bedrooms typically seems to get the highest amount for rent during the peak seasons. So what is the actual market telling us right now on Blue Mountain Beach? Just right now, there are 94 homes on the market in Blue Mountain Beach. 94. And they average having 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms with around 2,470 square feet, and they've been on the market for an average of 154 days. The average price point of these properties is just over $2 million. Remember, like I said, $2 to $3 million is going to be our sweet spot here on Blue Mountain Beach. In the past 90 days, only 13 properties have sold here on Blue Mountain Beach, and they averaged having 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms with 2,159 square feet, originally being listed for $1.4 million, but ultimately selling for $1.25 million. That's about 90% of what they were originally listed for. And they sat on the market for an average of about 189 days. As we speak, there are 7 properties right now that are actively under contract, meaning they were listed active and someone put in an offer and the offer was accepted. They are in the contract period. Negotiations have been done for the most part. We won't get those numbers of what they're actually under contract for until it actually closes. So I don't have that data for you, but I can tell you what the types of properties are. These properties averaged having 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, being around 2,025 square feet, and they were on the market for around 74 days. Now, they were originally listed for $1.2 million, but like I said, I won't have the numbers on what they actually sell for until after the fact. So we see a little bit of a difference here because in the past 90 days, everything was selling, well, on average about $1.25 million. Now we're seeing everything that's pending right now is right at 1.2. So we've seen a little bit of decrease in those prices here in Blue Mountain Beach. So what is that telling us about the numbers? Like I said, we're seeing a decrease in some prices, and also the ones that did start out a little bit lower, those are the ones that actually sold. So we call this chasing the market. It's not the funnest thing to do, right? So when we say that, basically, if I'm representing a seller and I say, hey, Mr. Seller, I think that your property is worth 1.2 million. And you say, well, I think it's worth 1.5. Well, we're going to tell you we should list at 1.2. If we negotiate and you're like, okay, well, how about we list it at 1.275 and see what happens? Well, we already know what the market says that it's worth. So if we do that, then we're going to have, slow trickling in of showings, maybe no showings whatsoever. That's a huge red flag. Or we're going to have some showings, but not a single offer. And then the seller believes us and says, oh, okay, maybe we do need to lower that price. So then we're chasing the market because now you've accumulated days on the market. And so as soon as you've got over 30 days on the market, buyers are like, I can cut a deal on this one. And the thing is after that point, sellers are starting to get a little bit antsy. They're like, oh man, I'd really like to offload this thing. I'm getting a little anxious, Not everybody, but that's kind of the general theme. So we're seeing a bit of that. Typically in April, which is the month that we're in at the time of shooting, this is a super busy time for us. This is like the busiest time, but the economy is a little bit weird right now. We've got this whole tariff situation going on, and it is wreaking a little bit of havoc on the real estate market. So we are seeing still a bit of a decline in the prices, and also we're seeing a bit more negotiation on the seller's side on behalf of the buyers. If you guys have any questions about this, I'm going to put all of my contact information on the screen. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I love talking to you guys, even if it hurts my tongue right now. I don't know if y'all have worked with agents in the past. Some folks are very transactional. I'm not. I'm going to ask you how your day is. I want to know about your family. I'm going to pray for your dad. Call and talk to me. We're going to be friends, okay? So, all right, back to real estate. I feel like we've talked a bit about the market now, and I've given you a pretty solid overview of Blue Mountain Beach. So let's hit the streets and go actually tour some neighborhoods. I've got 3 of them in line for you. Let's go check those out. So here we are at Gulf Hills Estates. We're just a short walk from 30A proper, the 30A road, right? But it's super quiet. I don't know if you guys can hear, but all you hear is, like the pine needles rustling from the pine trees. You've got typically 3 to 4 bedroom homes out here. And if you do a little sweep, you can see that they're going to be of varying styles. You've got older cottages, you've got some new builds, and this is kind of stereotypical for all of Blue Mountain Beach. You've got tons of trees left. You're going to see a stark difference between Blue Mountain Beach versus like Alice Beach or Rosemary Beach. It's totally different, but we're gonna take you on a drive so that you can see what the rest of this neighborhood looks like, and I'm gonna share some stats with you. All right, let's go driving. Here in Gulf Hills Estates, we are super close to the beach access and biking trails. Right now, there are 2 properties for sale in Gulf Hills Estates. Both are newer in construction. One is a 2-bed, 1-bath cottage built in 2020, and it's listed for $770,000. The other one is a 4-bed, 5-bath home with nearly 3,400 square feet and 3 garages. And it's a little bit more in price. This one's going for $3.35 million. It was built in 2023. And something to know about this neighborhood is that there's no HOA here. So you can absolutely short-term rent these properties out. You can use them as a second home. These are producing really, really well. If you have any questions about actual numbers, just reach out to me and I will get you either historical data historical data, or some rental projections. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this neighborhood is a little bit different. The last one we were at, that's a true subdivision. It's got a name. This one, we're in a sort of pocket of Blue Mountain Beach. We are just east of Old Blue Mountain Road and west of Big Redfish Lake. So kind of forms like this triangle, something like this. And you got some, you know, north and south roads in between. I'm sure we'll put some kind of graphic up there for you so you can see a pretty picture and show you where we are on the map. But the biggest thing to know is that right on the other side over here is the water. So very super easy walk to the beach, and you've got a couple access points, which is fantastic. Also, no HOA in this neighborhood, and there are all kinds of different properties. You can get a small cottage, you can get a huge house. Huge house. I'm going to go over some of the stats for what is available right now as we do the drive around, but we can just do a sort of panorama and show you what's around us right here where we're at. And you can see that there is such a huge difference in architecture. You've got, you know, I don't even know, like a Tuscan feel over here and something else over here. And some of these are brand new. Some of them are considerably older. We've got some roads that still need some work. This is very old Florida feel. This isn't like new city. This is, you know, old beach, which is something really, really nice about Blue Mountain Beach, making it a huge favorite, not just for us locals, but also for tourists that want to come visit. It's not the same feel as, say, Seaside or Rosemary Beach or Alice Beach. It's very relaxed, and listen to how quiet it is. Super quiet. All right, let's go drive around. This pocket includes charming walkable streets like Blue Lupine Way, Cabana Trail, Redfish Circle, and Bermuda Drive. It's south of 30A, tucked between Old Blue Mountain Road and Big Redfish Lake. There's no HOA, and the area offers a classic beach town vibe with upscale touches. Right now, there are 6 homes for sale ranging from $2.25 million to $7 million. These homes average 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and around 3,500 square feet, with original list price averaging around $4.8 million. Of these properties, they've been on the market for about 103 days on average, and in the past 90 days, there has been one sale in the area, a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, just over 3,000 square feet, and it was built in 2011. This property sold for $2.6 million after 102 days on the market. This area is perfect for luxury buyers who want beach proximity, privacy, and the ability to walk or bike everywhere without being in a gated community, and more of a local favorite. You'll find charming cottages, renovated homes, and even some new construction tucked in among the mature trees and shaded streets. Homes here range from around $900,000 All right, this is our final community. This is Lakeside at Blue Mountain Beach. And if you look a little bit, you can see that it is a bit different than the other 2 locations that we've already seen, in that all of the structures are very similar. This is our only community that has an HOA. Some of you might be like, I don't know about that, but having an HOA means typically you also have amenities. So you do have a pool right behind you. We're not going to show it to you because there are people
swimming in it. And I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for, you know, beach season. So I don't want anyone videoing me in my bikini. So I'm not going to do it to somebody else. I ate pizza last night. So they also have a gym, and we're still really close to the beach. So we're on the north side of 30A now. The first one that we looked at, we were on the north side of 30A. The second one, we were on the south side. Now we're back on the north side, but still a super easy walk to the beach. And this neighborhood, you can still short-term rent the properties out, and the yards are a little bit smaller. So not some crazy maintenance or anything. You do have some great amenities. It's not a huge neighborhood, but it's decent size. So very much a mix of, you know, vacation and easy living, really. Not a ton of maintenance. You got everything you need right here and still super walkable to the beach. So let's go take a look at it. This neighborhood sits just north of 30A near Big Redfish Lake with easy access to local favorites like Blue Mabel and Redfish Taco. It features newer single-family homes, a community pool, and scenic walking trails, all without being gated. Right now, there are 11 homes for sale, averaging with 4 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms with around 2,500 square feet. These homes were originally listed for about $1.54 million and have been on the market for an average of 170 days. Only one home has sold in the past 90 days. It was a 4-bedroom, 4-bath with 2,560 square feet and originally listed for $1.3 million, but ultimately sold for $1.25 million after 173 cumulative days on the market. Lakeside offers buyers a low-maintenance modern beach style in a neighborhood that blends vacation appeal with residential comfort. It's one of the more affordable, amenity-rich areas with a pool, a gym, and easy beach access via the nearby trail system. Homes here are usually under $900,000, and this area is popular with investors and snowbirds alike.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed touring those neighborhoods. And if you hadn't heard of Blue Mountain Beach before, hopefully that was a bit informative, seeing them in person, seeing what I was talking about as far as, you know, all the brush and such. I've had a lot of folks that would call me talking about different areas, maybe Seacrest or Seaside or something like that. Those are the really popular areas. But as soon as they came down and saw Blue Mountain Beach in person, they were like, this might actually be more of what we're looking for. And so we hear it all the time. I would highly recommend, if you are not familiar with every single community along 30A, that you hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so that you get notified every time I do another video, and you can go back through the playlist and educate yourself on all of the different communities, their cultures, their prices, and reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want to just have a dialogue about, you know, which one is going to suit your personality and your needs. Absolutely. Like I said, I love this stuff. I worked until 10 o'clock the other night just running numbers on investments. So I was blessed enough to get into a career that I truly love doing. So don't hesitate, even if you're a little ways out from purchasing, still reach out ahead of time. It's great. So let's talk a little bit about the outdoor lifestyle now that you've seen the neighborhoods and you know a bit more about the area. So obviously you can get to the beach. You have the regional beach access right there at Old Blue Mountain Road, right there by the creamery. And there's lots of parking along each side of the road. It's a great beach access. We actually have one of the most picturesque beaches along all of 30A. It's absolutely beautiful. That one's going to have the most parking, but if you continue down the road, you're going to see quite a few smaller accesses, and they're not gated or anything. They're not private. You can absolutely just go walk over to them from wherever you're staying, wherever you're living there in Blue Mountain Beach, and it's such a beautiful walk. Usually there's these You'll have like the trees, the magnolias and such coming up and creating this like beautiful canopy over the boardwalk, and you just walk through them, and then you get to the other side, and you're like, oh, and it's beautiful beach and absolutely lovely. So of course you've also got Big Redfish Lake, and you can go paddleboarding. You can go out to the beach and do some paddleboarding over there too. Boogie boarding, kayaking. I see people doing all kinds of stuff out there on the beach. It's fantastic. We've got quick access to the Timpucci Trail. So if you're the type to go skating or bike riding, walking, running, whatever it is, it's a wide path and it's got beautiful scenery on all directions. So you can be looking at beautiful homes, or you can be looking at the water, you can be driving by, or, cruising by some restaurants. It's fantastic. So there's so much to do outside. There's places you can rent bicycles. They've got those cool, what are those called? They call not spiders, slingshots. There we go. Those slingshot cars, man, those things look so cool. I haven't rented one yet. I'm going to talk Mongo into taking me out on one of those things just so we can get some more YouTube content. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we have a sister channel. It's kind of our overarching channel, and it's Life on the Emerald Coast. Definitely check it out. If you're seeing these videos on 30A and you're like, I don't know, 30A is really awesome, but I haven't really been to the area, so I'd like to know more about the entire area, check out Life on the Emerald Coast. We're pretty funny, so they're fun to watch in addition to being very educational. I will say at the Blue Mountain Beach Regional Access, that's going to be the spot where you're going to have some bathrooms and, like I said, good parking. But that's kind of the important one, is having those bathrooms right there. A lot of the other accesses, you're not going to have bathrooms. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're someone that's like, I'm going to need that. It's good to know. The other thing that we have out here is the Point Washington State Forest. It is awesome. You can take a car back there and go, off-roading. Definitely have some four-wheel drive, because we get some rain and it gets really super muddy, and you get some changes, like some pretty deep potholes. I used to be part of a Jeep club back in the day when I lived in Texas, and that was fantastic. So I will definitely go drive on that stuff. It's super fun, but I wouldn't take, a regular sedan over there, but it is fun. And there are some beautiful walking paths that will take you down by the lakes. It's absolutely beautiful. I was just out there, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. I have no concept of time. Every day is Monday. But I went out there with my dog and a friend, and we were walking, and it was absolutely beautiful. You'll see other people walking around. You'll see folks driving on the wider parts, and then folks walking on the thinner roads. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you're the type that's like, I want to be outside a lot, but I don't necessarily want to be looking at the beach the entire time. Like I said, you've got the Timpucci Trail, and then you've got the Point Washington State Park, both offering completely different scenery from the beach. Okay, so what's it like to eat out here? I don't know why foodies seem to be attracted to this area, but they seem to be. I'm gonna tell you a secret. There is like no good food in Panama City Beach or Panama City. I'm sorry. I know I'm saying that like, I don't like saying it because I don't like to be rude, but their food is just not good over there. I went to multiple places and I was not impressed. But here on 30A, I have not found a restaurant yet where the food was not fantastic. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It has all been absolutely fantastic. So if you're a foodie and you're like, I'm going to come down, I'm going to purchase this property as an investment property, but I'm only going to stay there myself for like a week out of the entire year, but I don't want to cook a single time while I'm there. I'm going to try out different restaurants the entire time. You will love it. You're going to spend a bit and you might gain some pounds, but it will 100% be worth it. It's just a short-term thing. But you've got the creamery that I told you about. And then you've also got for the health of it, which is awesome. It's all, you've got organic options and vegan options and all, the things that you would think about when you were saying, oh, for the health of it, right? You've also got Basmati's Asian cuisine. And that's going to be tucked away with excellent sushi and, some cocktails if that's your thing. And then you've also got Redfish Taco and Blue Mabel. And these are going to be some great low-key dining options as well. That's just the whole vibe here for the most part is low-key but good, like low-key but quality. That's what I should call it. You're not presumptuous. It's very comfortable, but still a little magical, if you will, without being presumptuous. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention, there aren't any big chains out here. So every restaurant that you're going to go to is just like a boutique shop, or, well, it's not a shop, it's a boutique restaurant, right? So you're going to be supporting locals every time you go to one of these places to eat. So that's another really cool thing about the area. And if you're on the complete opposite side, you're like, I want to cook every meal. I'm a chef, so I want to cook all of my meals because no matter what, I'm going to cook a better meal than somewhere else where I go to pay for it. I'm not that person. Y'all, I can burn water when I try to boil it. Listen, I bought this beautiful steak from the farmer's market. The best farmer's market is on Grand Boulevard. It's the same people over on 30A, which is great, but I just don't like the situation there. It gets super crowded and packed. And Grand Boulevard, low-key, reminds me of Blue Mountain Beach. But anyways, I digress. If you're a great cook, then you have the option to go to the Publix as well. There's a Publix super close by. Actually, you've got a couple of them. You've got one over in Watercolor. You've got another one in Santa Rosa Beach. So you have the ability to have everything that you need if you were to be living here full time, or if you just want to come in every once in a while and enjoy your beautiful space. So how do you get here? Well, I imagine you're probably flying in. You might not be, but we're just going to say that you are, right? So if you're going to fly in, you have actually airports on either side. To the west, you're going to have VPS, which is the Fort Walton Beach Destin Airport. And then to the east, you're going to have ECP. So that's going to be in Panama City Beach. The one to the west is about 45 minutes away, and the one to the east is about 50 minutes away. So very comparable. And then you are very centrally located along 30A in Blue Mountain Beach. So having quick access to the Timpucci Trail means you can get to the other communities very quickly. So if you wanted to take a bicycle to dinner or to go check out the other communities, super easy to do and highly recommended. Now, there are a lot of areas where you can take golf carts as well. Just make sure that you're watching for that, because every community is going to have a different rule on golf carts. Definitely, whatever you do, though, do not try to take a golf cart over to 98. It's very dangerous, very illegal. They will pull you over. It will give you a bad day. So what are some things that most buyers who are looking at the area don't know about Blue Mountain Beach? Well, for one, it's not blue. There are no mountains. The blue lupine wildflowers aren't here anymore, unfortunately, for the most part. But there are different flood zones. Because of that change in elevation, you can have a singular property that falls along two separate flood zones, which will have an impact on your flood insurance. For the most part, you're not going to need it, or at least it's not going to be required by your financial institution if you're using financing. If you're paying cash, obviously it's up to your discretion. But if you're using financing, you could see that. But for the most part, I don't think I've ever seen someone need flood insurance here on Blue Mountain Beach. We've also got a ton of communities with either no or very low HOAs. And it's very quiet here in the off season. It's super quiet. Like even in April right now, there weren't a ton of people out. Now, it is Sunday and it is April, mid-April. And so a lot of the parking was taken up to go to the beach, but my videographer actually was able to find parking very quickly. So in the off season, it's absolutely very super quiet, and it's also not completely overbuilt in this area. We're still constructing new properties here and probably going to continue to do so for a little while. They typically are building larger homes now in this area, so expect to see some larger homes in the area. Keep in mind, whenever you're investing, you're not just investing in a property, you're investing in a lifestyle. So make sure you're taking that into consideration as you look at everything along 30A and our beautiful Emerald Coast. So you might be thinking to yourself, AJ, would you live there? I get this question all the time about whatever area that I'm covering, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I absolutely would. I absolutely would live in Blue Mountain Beach. I am less of the manicured type and more of the, I want to hear the crickets at night. Maybe not bullfrogs. They're really loud. But crickets, yes. And in the mornings, I love hearing birds sing. And I love seeing kids outside playing. I've got a little girl, and I just love seeing kids. It feels very wholesome. And I really like that. I love seeing, people going to church. And so Blue Mountain Beach is very much a a calm, beautiful place. I would not be afraid to raise my daughter here. We just happen to be in a different location with a boatload of amenities so that I can keep her busy. So, is Blue Mountain Beach right for you? If you're looking for that old Florida feel, that like old beach vibe, just very wholesome, chill, laid back with a little touch of, upscaleness because of all of the architecture and some of the most wonderful dining options that we have out here, it just might be. So make sure that you, again, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you get notified every time I do another video, just in case you want to learn some more information. And absolutely, give me a call, text, email, Facebook message. I am surprised how many of y'all reach out to me on Facebook or email. Those seem to be very common. I don't mind. I respond to all of it. I work all the time because I love what I do. So absolutely reach out, even if it's a Sunday. I might not get to it until the next day because I do stay busy, but it will be me, and I will be super excited to hear from you. Some of y'all have already reached out and you know this to be the case, and we're friends now, and it's awesome because, well, when you work all the time, sometimes the only way to make friends is to actually meet them through work. So make sure that you absolutely reach out. And if you have any questions regarding numbers with the market, what a property could potentially bring in, or what it currently is bringing in on the rental market, or just an overall market snapshot, go ahead and email me. Let me know that that's what you're looking for, and I can get you set up with those. And just before we wrap up, go ahead and comment down below and let me know, have you been to Blue Mountain Beach yet? I'm just curious. All right. I will see y'all at the next one. Bye, y'all.